Welcome to the updated Siege Ballista build guide where I fixed all the problems that we had in the Patch Notes 3.25. For those new to the channel know that I've been playing this build for more than 4 years and I did all the possible variations out there. So each league I always play Siege Ballista and then transition to Shuttle Ballista, which is a different thing. My take on Siege Ballista is quite cheap and is 100% new player friendly. So if you suck at the game and you want a fun build to play, just do this. Okay my boys, now let's see the changes that happened for this build. What were the nerfs that happened in the 3.25 patch notes? One of them was for the timeless jewel in this area because they decided to move outside of the ring, King of the Hill and Master Fletcher. So now we have fewer notables where we can get added benefits. Because of this I decided to move the timeless jewel back in this area because here we have access to multiple nodes. As you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even here 7, 8. So we have easy access to multiple notables that will grant you more dexterity. It's easier in this area and also cheaper. Siege Ballista in 3.25 patch notes lost a lot of defenses. We lost Iron Wood, so we were getting for free 2000 armor or more. We lost that potential and we also got nerfed for the Grace Aura. So this aura got nerfed. Now it gives us way less additional evasion rating, yeah? And here our Briscoe up doesn't help much because they reward how quality works, but because this base has low evasion rating, quality does not help us. So we're getting just 500, 600 evasion rating, which is very, very low. And to counter all these two things, we will take now in the updated Siege Ballista a rare armor. Will be in this guide how to craft it cheap as possible with double influence, and we will have a Conquest lamellar base. Yeah, it will give you a lot of flat armor and evasion rating. Yeah, so this will help you with the defensive rating. Even physical damage reduction will no longer be 40%. If you place also the flask, it will be pretty high. Yeah, so we will not longer get one-shotted. The build is 4 times tankier than the last version. It's very tanky, man. And also chance to evade if you apply here a Grace Aura will be pretty high. Let me try now. So you place here with 75% dodge. With the flask you will have more than 80%. So you have good physical damage mitigation and good evasion rating in this version, which is great. And this armor can be crafted for cheap. I will teach you in this video how to craft it yourself so you don't overpay. Now we have even more changes here. We added in this area Light of Meaning because we have a lot of nodes, so we can get added benefits. In my opinion, this is the best one because will save your chaos resistance problems. As you can see, 36. If I'm gonna press the flask, will be close to cap. Yeah, for the budget version, which we'll also have in the POB, you can use this one with +2 attributes. So you will get 2 attributes on everything, or even that one that gives increased cold damage for the nodes. That is also good. Yeah, so this will be for the budget because it's very cheap with 2 attributes, and this will be for the normal version, so we die really hard. You know that movie with Terminator? He dies really hard. Another thing that I did here, I included Frost Bomb. So this gem here will apply cold exposure on the enemy, so we deal more damage for free, and reduces the life regeneration rate of the enemies. But because we want to play lazy, in this version I switched to Inspiration. Yeah. So I always did Siege Ballista with life tap. In this version we do Inspiration and Mana Forge arrows. As you can see, it will shoot automatically while we place totems. And when it shoots, it will also cast Frostbomb, it will resummon the Ice Golem, it will give you Frenzy charges and more. Here with Curse with Frostbite, yeah? Well, we will talk about this in the skill gem sections. Boys, enough talking because I got bored. Let's jump into the guide. We start with the items, then with the skill gems. I will explain the skill tree. I will show you how to craft your items very sexy, very nice. And then we'll have some good fun. Let's go. Okay my boys, now let's check the items. We should start with the bow, which is the core component of this build. Read this line here, Siege Ballista has one maximum number of summon totems for each 200 dexterity. Basically, the more dexterity we have here, the more totems we can summon. As you can see, I can summon 18 totems just because I have 2000 dexterity. So this is a core component for the build. Another core component is this helmet here, Fractal Toads. Increases your elemental damage for each 10 dexterity. Make sure that you read this line here, increase dexterity if strength is higher than intelligence, so you get 50%. So you must make sure that you check here if strength is higher than intelligence, so you get 50% increased dexterity for free. A lot of sucky boys, they don't ever check and they don't get it. Another component is this bow here, the Poise Prism, gives a lot of flat added cold damage for each 10 dexterity, which is big. Try to buy one with good rolls. As you can see, it can roll from 50 to 25% to resistances. Try to buy one with good rolls. This is true for all the pieces out here, especially for the bow you want with increased attack speed as much as possible. Here you want with critical strike multiplier close to 40%. So a lot of Saki boys, they don't check the rolls. A good player will also try to look at the rolls, yeah. Another core component for this build are these gloves here, Hrimsorrow. Read this line here, 100% of physical damage is converted into cold damage. So now we'll do elemental attacks. Some guys like to use rare gloves with an elemental conversion. Don't use that, just stick to Hrimsorrow because it will save you some skill points in the skill tree. Also, it can have double corruptions. Yeah, these are great, these are new player friendly and are pretty cheap gloves. You will stick to Hrimsorrow for my build variation here. Are best. Here you want to put Garukan's Flight. This gives flat maximum life per 10 dexterity. So let's put it like this. Without the boots, I have this much life. Once I equip these boots, I have, you see, close to 1000 life just from the boots. So these are pretty powerful. Also, they give you flat dexterity, which is even better. Good. Now let's check the amulet. It's Astra Mantis. This is a new player-friendly amulet that will solve you all your attribute problems. You see, if I remove this amulet, you will have problems with strength and intelligence, and you will not equip your skill gems and your items. If you put Astra Mantis, you won't have any attribute problems. This will solve you everything on the go. When you buy your Astra Mantis, try to buy one with good rolls, so it gives you more dexterity. Yeah, this is essential. And also anoint it with Shaman Dominions, which we will talk later. Now for the rings, you want to buy synthesized rings with increased dexterity. These are best in slot. Yeah, I have 2 here, but on League Start this can be little more expensive. For League Start, I have a separate guide on how to League Start with Siege Ballista if you're interested, and there I explain budget alternatives. But let's say that in a particular league, these rings are more expensive, no problem. You will buy with flat dexterity here, yeah. This is for the budget. These are very cheap rings, man. You can roll them like this. This video will have a timestamp on how to craft your rares. So you can craft rings like this, very cheap yourself, which is much more better. Even for the belt, which we are using an increased dexterity belt, there will be a timestamp in this video on how to craft your rings, belt, and even body armor here. Speaking of the body armor, you're using a double influence rare armor, which is a Conquest Lamellar base. This has both armor and evasion rating, yeah, that will boost our defenses greatly. Yeah, and if you're poor, you can start with a brisk swap, but this will give you shit defenses. Yeah, you want to craft armor like this because you don't want to die in your maps and you want to have fun. On League Start, for example, we will still go with brisk swap because it's much more cheaper. Yeah, yeah. This we will craft it later using the method that I will provide in the timestamp in this guide. So here are all the items that you need to know. For the flasks, I always like to put a Divine Life Flask with immunity to corrupted blood. This is great. Then in this version of the build guide, you want to have a Rumi's Concoction Flask, you want to have a Jade Flask, you want to have a Quicksilver Flask, and Amethyst Flask. Amethyst Flask is optional because once you get your Light of Meaning jewel with Chaos Resistance, you can drop the Amethyst Flask and use whatever you want. Yeah, if you get that jewel, you can drop the Amethyst Flask, because if you have 30 or 40% Chaos Resistance, it's more than enough for tier 16 maps. So you can drop it and use whatever. But until then, maybe you're using a budget version when you put something like this for attributes, you need to use an Amethyst Flask for some Chaos Resistance, yeah? So we want to have a tanky build, this is the idea. Good. Okay, my boys, now let's talk about the skill gems. Let's start with the boots. Here we have Dash, Second Wind, and Blood Rage. You get for more than 10 seconds a buff that will give you 20% increased attack speed. So this is extra damage for free. It's optional, but you might want to use it, especially on League Start. Now let's look at the gloves. Here we have Portal, Cast on Death. This is a quality of life setup, so when you die inside your maps, it will automatically open a portal for you, so you don't have to walk from the start to the corpse. You will just take the portals and you will resume at the place where you died. Yeah, this is great for mapping builds, and this is a tier 16 map blaster. Here we have Steel Skin and Automation. This will ensure, you see, you enable automation, and it will apply Steel Skin for you. Steel Skin is a shield that absorbs damage. It will get activated once you enter a map. Now let's talk about the bow. Here is a great setup that you will enjoy a lot. So we have here Frenzy, we have Mana Forge Arrows, we have Summon Ice Golem, we have Cast on Critical Strikes, we have Frost Bomb, and we have Frostbite. And now I will explain how it works. When you summon your totems, it will also shoot with Frenzy, because we have Mana Forge arrows. Then, when Frenzy shoots, you have here custom critical strikes. So, when Frenzy shoots and crits, it will automatically spawn Frost Bomb, resummon the Golem, curse the enemy with Frostbite. So this is very lazy, man. You just put your totems and you will get Frenzy charges, you will praise Frost Bombs, and you will also get your Golem, and you also curse with Frostbite. This is so lazy and so nice. Now let's check our auras. Here we're using Grace and Purity of Elements. Make sure that they are high level so they give you more dodge chance and more elemental resistances. Purity of Elements helps you with elemental element immunity, which is very important, yeah? Also, you can put here an Enlightened Support Gem so you have more mana. And here you can add an extra aura like level 1 Precision or level 1 Vitality in case you have a Watcher's Eyes here with added modifiers. For example, here I have a Watcher's Eye modifier for Vitality Aura. You can put here a level 1 Vitality Aura just to get the benefits from the Watcher's Eyes, yeah? Remember, it needs to be level 1, don't level it up further. Now let's check our Siege Ballista setup. We have here Siege Ballista, Inspiration Support, Awakened added cold damage support, Awakened elemental damage with attack support, Increased critical damage support, and Enhanced level 4. It's essential that all these gems are high level and with quality. As you can see, my Siege Ballista is level 2120. Yeah, it's a good reason for this. Also, Inspiration has quality. If you're poor, you can take the normal version, added cold damage to attacks, and here elemental damage with attacks, non-awakened versions. Here it's very important, if you go with enhanced version, which is big, you need to have it level 4. I stress it needs to be level 4. Once you put it in this body armor, it gets actually to level 5, which is big damage boost. This is because how the Siege Ballista quality works. As you can see, you get 5% increased attack speed per maximum totem. And we can summon 18 totems, yeah? So this is 18 multiplied by 5, you get 90% attack speed for free. That's why we want to put quality on Siege Ballista. But it gets even better, because we're using Enhance, now we're getting 13% increased attack speed per maximum totem. So this means that we're getting close to 250% increased attack speed because we're using an Enhanced level 4 here, yeah? So what you can swap here, if you're poor, you can put a faster attack gems, yeah, but this one, if you put Enhanced level 4, man, will boost your damage a lot. Yeah, so you want to put Enhanced level 4, you'll have the gems in the POB, and you also have a budget version that will use faster attacks. Yeah, good. Okay, my boys, now let's talk about the skill tree. Let's try to understand what we have here. We will start with the keystones, then I will explain all the masteries, and then I will try to explain all the jewels. But before that, I need to stress that I made the POB. You have the POB in the description of the video, and to make everything very sexy, very nice, you have here the progression. Yeah? Maybe you're not level 98, but you know what to do, what points to take in order to progress your character. Usually, if you want to do this build, you should be around level 90, period. So around level 90 is best. But here I did this progression because there is a separate league start guide that connects to this one, which is very good. Here you have the items, yeah. I will also add here one more for budget items. Pretty much are the same items, but instead of the rare body armor, we're gonna use brisk swap. And for the rings here, we're gonna use flat dexterity synthesized rings, which by the way, you have here a timestamp in this build guide on how to craft your rings very cheap. Yeah, so you don't need to overpay. This build can still work on a 10 divine or budget, which is crazy. But if you want to have a very tanky build, you will need to craft this body armor here, which is much better than a brisk swap in terms of defenses. Also, I added here a notes section. Yeah, I even explained how to get your timeless jewel, you know, very effective in case you're new to the game and you don't know how. Now, in addition to all of that, you also have the guild Discord server link. You click on here on the link and you get redirected on the Discord server. Here you have all my builds, yeah, with crucial information at the top, and here a chat that people talk and you can better your build. And if you have any questions, you can just ask. I need to mention that also. Let's go back here. Good. Now let's go back in game and see how we can explain this beautiful thing. Let's start with this keystone here, Mage Bane. Basically how it works, the more dexterity you have, the more chance to suppress spell damage you get. So all this spell suppression that you see here is getting from this keystone Mage Bane. If I'm gonna unspec this, you see no spell suppression. But because I have a lot of dexterity here, by allocating just 1 point Mage Bane keystone, I get spell suppression for free. This is so great for dexterity stackers in general. Now let's talk about this keystone. Here it's point blank, how it works. The closer the enemy is to your totems, the more damage you do, up to 30% more damage. This is free damage. More damage is a multiplier. It's much more better than increased damage in case you're a sucky boy. So when you see the enemy, let's say the stash tab is an enemy, you will put the totems closer and they will do more damage. Basically, that's how it works. Free damage, so we're gonna take it. Now let's explain here the mastery points. Here we have a more critical strike multiplier against unique enemies. So unique enemies are map bosses, rogue exiles and stuff like that, and you want to do more damage, so we're gonna take it. Good. And here we have, when we summon our totems, because we have so many totems, we want to summon 2. So this has 30% chance to summon 2 totems instead of 1. So summoning all your totems will be faster. So this master is mandatory, you always need to take it. Here is another one, increased projectile damage per 16 dexterity. And because we have a lot of dexterity, that's free damage on top. It's mandatory. This will give you great damage for free. More than 100. Let's check this beauty, it's increased attributes. Because we're an attribute stacker. In case you don't know, dexterity is an attribute. So we're an attribute stacker. This more attributes means we have more dexterity, which we're gonna take it. Look, I'm gonna unspec Dick, look, check my dexterity. See, it gets lower. So this is mandatory, you need to take it. Good! Now we have here another point. Totems taunt enemies for 1 second when summoned. If you don't know, taunted enemies deal less damage to us, 10% less damage or something like that. So it's good, it's great defensive boost. When you summon your totems, which will, by the way, we summon all the time, they will taunt the enemies so they deal less damage. So it's great. You're gonna take this one because it's great. Yeah, let's check this one. This was added in this version. Increase mana reservation efficiency of skills. This is mainly because I swapped here from life tap to inspiration. So I could add that mana forge arrows, you know, it shoots with arrows. It is essential to take that mastery point so we have more free mana here. Let me show you. The first totems that you summon will cost a lot of mana. See my mana bar? And you can have issues. That's why you need to have more free mana here so you don't have issues. In case you're wondering where we're getting this crazy mana regen is from the Ascendancy. Regenerate 0.5% of mana for each summon totems. So the more summon totems you have active, the more mana regen you have here. That's why. Another thing that I want to mention, even if I swap to inspiration, we can still do no regen maps without any problem. You just buy a random life tap gem and you put it here. And now your skills will cost life. Yeah, in case you don't know how this works, you enter with a no regen map and you will place your flask, which will have instant recovery. And when your life gets low, you press your flask. And you can still do no regen maps. This is especially used for on league start. If you plan to league start with this build, which is a great league start by the way, you can still do no regen maps. Yeah, and after you do the map, you put back inspiration. Good. And also this node here will help you with the timeless jewel. So now you can get more dexterity or extra good effects on these nodes. You see here you can get a timeless jewel with good effects. You have in the POB how to find the great timeless jewel yourself so you don't overpay. Good. Look, my mouth is hurting, I talk so much. Here are the jewels and we will cover them right now. Here we have fluid motion. Basically this is a simple jewel that grants flat dexterity and transforms the strength nodes here and here into dexterity. So instead of getting 10 strength, now it gives 10 dexterity. You know? And because we're a dexterity stacker, this is a great jewel. As a matter of fact, it's so good that we're using 3 of them. One here, one here. All this strength gets converted into dexterity, so we get more. Here is the timeless jewel. You'll have in the notes section of the POB how to find yourself a cheap and good timeless jewel. You might want to take a look if you're a sucky boy. Also in the description of the video you will have also the link there. So here you need to find it yourself, else you will overpay 50 times, 20 times the normal price. The idea is that you want to buy this as cheap as possible. That's why you need to watch that video in case you're new to the game. Okay, maybe here we have a medium cluster jewel. Make sure that you buy one with 4 or 5 passive skills. Here we're interested in this one mostly, Sleepless Sentries. What this node does, it's here, you gain onslaught for free when you summon a totem. And because we're a totem player, we're always summoning our totems, so we have free onslaught all the time. Yeah? So this gives you more attack speed, movement speed. Good. It's great. Both offensively and defensively. And if you can for the second one, I prefer Ancestral Reach because they let you place your totems farther away. Not only that you place them faster and deal more damage, but you can place them farther away from you. Yeah, this is a small quality of life, so if you want to upgrade your jewel later, you can take with Ancestral Reach on top of Sleepless Sentries. Good! Now let's check about this jewel here, which is the Light of Meaning. This is a great jewel because it gives you added benefits on all these nodes. Here it gives me chaos resistance. Yeah. For those guys that watch my channel in the past for like 2 years, 3 years ago, they know that I always play Siege Ballista on minus 60 chaos resistance because this is a tier 16 mapper. We're not doing extreme content, you know, just all the Atlas side content in tier 16 maps, and because of the high dodge and high regeneration, we can do actually maps on negative chaos resistance. But there are new Path of Exile players that suck hard at the game, they don't know what modifiers to avoid and monsters. That's why I decided to put chaos resistance here. But if you're a good player and you know what you're doing, you might want to put this one, which gives you 2 attributes to everywhere. So now each point in addition gives you plus 2 attributes, you see, it gets added. And this will boost your dexterity, means that will boost your damage also. So you'll have minus 60, but you can use a flask here, Amethyst Flask, that you will press it. Not to mention that you can even put here a Watcher's Eyes that will have that more chaos resistance while affected by purity of elements and evade. It's much more expensive, but will help you with the chaos resistance. So you can drop, know that you can drop this one if you don't want to use it. Yeah. Good. So in the POB for the budget version, I will actually put this one with plus 2 all attributes because it's very cheap. This one with chaos resistance is like 9 divines, so it's more expensive. Good. So we covered all the skill tree. Yeah, because the rest you will copy. You know, you just look what I took and you will put it. But boys, now let's talk about the Ascendancy, Bandits, and Pantheon. Good. For the Ascendancy, we go with Hierophant because it has busted totem nodes. So you'll progress in this order, which is very important. First, you take this node. This will increase the totem duration, will make 100% increase totem placement speed. So we're gonna place these totems almost instantly, very fast, and will give you 1 extra totem for free. It's busted. Then we go to the next one, Ritual of Awakening, and this is overpowered as fuck. This is why we do this build for this node here. Gives you 5% more damage per summon totem. And just to give you an idea, yeah, so we have 18 totems multiplied by 5. This is 90% more damage. So basically I'm playing on an 8 link. Let's put it like I'm playing on an 8 link just because of this busted Ascendancy. And you and your totems regenerate 1% of your maximum life for each summon totem. So this gives me crazy life and mana regeneration for free. Let's see here. You see close to 1000 for free. 1000 life regeneration per second just because I have a lot of totems. Man, this is so good. Then you want to take this one, Conviction of Power, will give you 4 minimum power charges, 4 minimum endurance charges. So you permanently will have these ones. This will help you with physical damage mitigation and will also mitigate elemental damage. It's great. And for the last one, you want to take this one, Divine Guidance, because it will increase your maximum mana. It will also raise your damage slightly, because we have this one, increases and reductions to maximum mana, also apply to damage at 30% of the value. Man, I need to put DND one moment. DND, you know, I'm making a guide, don't ruin my guide. Yeah, so this is for the last lab. It's not a rush, you can take it later, but remember to take it. It gives you some slight utility. Increase maximum mana, it's nice. We're gonna take it, why not? Now for the Pantheon, you're gonna take this one, Soul of Lunaris. This will help you with more physical damage reduction, because this is a mapper, you'll have monsters everywhere around you. This means that you will have for free 8% more physical damage reduction and movement speed. Make sure to unlock all the other benefits with Divine Vessels, and here for the Minor God, you want Soul of Shakari. Will help you with poison damage mitigation and will further reduce the chaos damage and damage on caustic ground. This is very useful. I always like to take it, it's good. For the bandits, you want to kill all, because they give us 1 extra skill point. Good, now let's move on. My boys, let's talk a little about the chaos resistance, because you need to know that in the past I always played this build on minus chaos resistance and I had no problems. I still play it on minus chaos resistance, but now we have more options to add chaos resistance to our build if you want to. The easiest one is getting here a Light of Meaning Jewel with chaos resistance. This will give you a lot of free chaos resistance here. Another thing that you can do, you can put an Amethyst Flask when charges reach full. This will give you extra chaos resistance. Another thing that you can do here, you can buy a Watcher's Eyes with this modifier, chaos resistance while affected by purity of elements, and we have it. So here, for example, you might want to use something like this. You see, and it keeps my chaos resistance, and I can even drop this flask and use something else, maybe a sulfur flask or whatever flask you desire. Yeah, so you have multiple options, no problem, for chaos resistance. You can even take for the rings. Let's say here, so I have cold and lighting resistance, yeah. You can do it like this. Let's put cold and chaos resistance. This you unlock it with the betrayal craft with June, you unveil it. You see? And just like this, I got extra chaos resistance. And see, I have 51. At this moment, with 51, I can easily drop this flask and use something else. Yeah. But for the purpose of this guide, I'll just keep it like this. You know, there are a lot of sucky boys that do this build and they suck at the game. So I need to make it simple. You understand? So I'll put it like this. So chaos resistance is not a problem. Not to mention that if we have Shakari Pantheon here, that reduces chaos damage taken, reduces damage from poisons, which is great. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Okay, my boys, now let's get into the juicy stuff. I will teach you how to craft your rares. We will craft the rings, we will craft the belt, and also the body armor. And also I'll give you budget alternative, because you're a lazy Saki boy. I made here a better trading filter that you can buy all your items with just one click. So let's say you want to craft a ring now, you want to make the build and you want to craft a dexterity ring yourself. So you just click on this base and you see. What it says, avoid bond ring and unset ring. So you will avoid this base and this base. The reason for this is because these rings can spawn added modifiers that can ruin your craft. So let's buy this base. We started cheap. Oh shit, I have D&D. What do you know? We go back on the website and we try again. I'll prepare the money and he will invite me to the party, no? After you get the base, you'll go to the Essence tab if you have it, and you'll buy this one, Deafening Essence of Sorrow. And you click it. This will guarantee that you have the best tier of dexterity, tier 1 dexterity, and we click it until we get life and some resistances. So I just click it here and I stop when I have good life. For example here, we stop. This is a great ring. So I have tier 1 dexterity, I have tier 1 life and some resistances. And I can also craft something on top. So I'll go here, I'm gonna craft added cold damage to attacks, because we have a lot of increases to elemental damage, so putting flat added cold damage is actually better than using this one. Okay, let's get a good roll. Something like this. After this you want to put intrinsic catalyst. This will bump up the attributes. You see? And I crafted a great ring. It also has resistances. Now, in case you're a really sucky boy and you suck hard at the game, you need to do this. You put it in the fortification station. Let's say you need fire resistance, not cold. No problem. Put here fire. Change a modifier that grants cold resistance, which is this one, into one that grants fire resistance. And now I can change that cold resistance into fire resistance. You see? And you will solve your issues. So just focus on getting any resistance and you use the fortification station to change the resistance type. Yeah. So this is how I crafted very cheap. Let's say you're poor, or maybe these rings bases get more expensive because of my beautiful guide here. No problem. We're gonna buy here. You see, you have budget. You click on it. So this is the budget option. We will buy with flat dexterity. Let's private message them, guys. Yeah. As you can see, the base is pretty cheap, especially on League Start. Good, let's go back and I'm gonna craft this ring with you. Now, the first thing that you want to do for this ring, you want to bless orb the implicit until you have 20 dexterity. So let's do it right now. 20. Good. Then you're gonna apply here Deafening Essence of Sorrow. Again, until you get good life and some resistances. That's pretty much it. This crafting process is noob friendly. Doesn't matter how new you are to the game, you will do it because it's easy. Ooh, this looks interesting. Also, I need to remind you that you can also use annulment orbs if you need it. Yeah? For example, here, in case you really need resistances, you can just craft life. Put here, we put some life. Just like this. At the end, remember to put intrinsic catalyst. Yeah, I need to take more. Let's take more. Here, put some more. Good dexterity. Good resistances, and I crafted this ring for under 50 chaos orb. Very easy. This will be for the budget version, and it will give you good dexterity. Actually, look at my dexterity ratio here. Let's put this. You see, you're not losing much. It's close to this one. Yeah, but you now know how to craft a budget one. Now let's craft a belt. You know, let's go back here and let's craft the belt. You see here, baked. I put a warning: avoid catalysted bases, because on League Start some people like to scam new players. So you want to buy a belt which doesn't have catalyst. Now I don't have any example, but you will see here it will say that has catalyst. Let's buy this one. Oh man, this is so cheap. So I'm clicking here until we get some good life and some resistances. Also here you can get chaos resistance, for example, if you're lucky. Depends how much patience you have. Look here, for example, good life, good dexterity, and some chaos resistance, but it's low tier. Let's try this. you know what you can do? You can even put some exile slams. Yeah, if you want, you can do even blocking, but let's see. Look, I got some lightning resistance, which is great. Suffix, suffix, prefix. Let's put a prefix here.
I grow restless.
I'll put one more exalted orb, see what I get. That's shit. So I can put more armor and evasion, like this one. Or I can put this for more elemental damage, but this one with armor and evasion for prefix is great. I'll put it like this. And I crafted just this, a great build. This is a great build. Yeah. Gives you resistance, is nice life, dexterity, great. And we're gonna craft the body armor. So I did my best to explain it very easy in few steps because this guide is adapted for new players, yeah, that suck at the game. That's why I put here in the better trading filter a whole area for the body armor. It's very easy to craft. Step 1, you buy a Hunter Influence armor, item level 85 or higher. Let's do it. This is pretty cheap. Okay, so I got it. You don't care about the modifiers, you just care to be item level 85 or 86, and you want here to be Hunter Influence. That's all that you care. Now let's go back here on the better trading and you buy the second piece, which is a random elevated dexterity body armor. Now, we don't care about the body armor type, you just need to have the elevated dexterity, which I will also show you how to elevate it yourself. Yeah, because these are cheap prices. After I make this guide, it's possible that it will no longer be this cheap. Okay boys, so after you get your two pieces, this is the elevated dexterity base. Yeah, so this is a 2-in-1 modifier. Actually it's one modifier, it's elevated dexterity. I will also show you how to elevate it yourself. And here we have the random conquest lamellar base with Hunter Influence. What you want to do here, you want to put it here and put reforge attack or reforge crit, yeah, until you get the tier 1 critical strike chance, which I got it. Yeah. If you put here reforge, it will guarantee that you have the critical strike. Look, I got it again. Tier 1 critical strike. You can also put reforge critical. This will also work, but make sure that you get attacks tier 1. Let's check this one. Tier 1. You get it pretty fast. Now this is the only hunter related modifier on this body armor, which is, you need to have it, the only one, because we're gonna use an Awakener's Orb. Yeah, in case you don't know how it works, I will show you. I think I have more here. Good. So basically, I'm gonna click the Awakener Orb on the Redeemer base that will get destroyed, and it will migrate the special Redeemer modifier onto this one, and will keep just the Hunter special modifier. Look, I'm gonna click it so you see it. You click on this one, and then you click on this one. And just like this, you crafted the body armor. Let me check a few things here. Yeah. Also, I got lucky here because I got dexterity. This is a great body armor. Yeah. Now, there's a trick that we can do here to guarantee that we get the additional curse. You want to get this one. So you can stop here, craft some evasion and armor. Let me do it. Armor and evasion. You craft like this with a good roll. Yeah, and then you apply some quality and you can stop here because it also has good life. But later, when you want to upgrade, you want to get that thing with you can apply an additional curse. As you can see, this gives much more armor and evasion than a brisk swap, and was crafted very easy and pretty cheap. Good, but now I'll show you the trick to get, you can apply an additional curse. You go here, and you put suffixes cannot be changed, and then you go here, and you put reforge caster. When you put suffixes cannot be changed, your critical strike chance, elevated dexterity, and dexterity mode will remain unchanged. And you put reforge caster. This will guarantee that you get additional curse appliance. You see, you can apply an additional curse. Good. And now we can do it like this. So I explained, sometimes you will not get life, no problem. So now let's put armor and evasion here, a good roll, like this. See, so you get additional curse, you have the critical strike chance. Now a thing that you need to do here, you need to divine orb this until you have 12 dexterity here. So you want to have good rolls and also good roll on the critical strike. So let's do it. For example, I have increased dexterity to 12%, but I have low chance on the critical strike. This you can do it later, by the way, when you get rich. You can stop here and you can divine it later, which I will. Yeah. And now, when you use this body armor without life, just make sure that you take, let me show you, this mastery point here increases maximum life if there are no life modifiers on the body armor. This will give you 50% increase maximum life for free. Good. So if you don't get life on body armor, you just use that mastery, it's no problem. You see how easy I crafted this? Let's craft another one so you get the idea. I prepared here multiple bases. Same process. Let's take this one for example. It's good because the only modifiers from Redeemer is this one with elevated dexterity. The others are normal. Yeah. So let's put this one and let's put this one. This is already good, but I'll do it again so you understand. You put Reforge attacks. Make sure it's the only special hunter influence modifier. Good. Now you're gonna place the Awakener's Orb. This one. You click on the Redeemer base that will get destroyed and will get migrated into this one. Good. Now let me check what we have here. Ooh, additional physical damage reduction, not bad. Remember, you go here, you put suffixes cannot be changed. Like this. And then we go Reforge Caster to guarantee that you can apply an additional curse. Good. Now we created a great body armor. You also have additional physical damage reduction. This is actually better than mine. The next step will be this one, I guess. You put your Divine Orb. Because you want to see 12 dexterity. Like this. Good critical strike. Good physical damage reduction. Make sure that you... Yeah. Here actually you can... Here we have two prefixes. Yeah. If you want to play with that mastery that gives you guaranteed 50% maximum life, you can play it safe. You just craft some life here. Yeah. And then I will lose an Exile Slam because this will give me armor and evasion, guaranteed pretty much. You see? And then I'm gonna craft again. This one, increased armor and evasion. So it's no big deal if you don't get life on the body armor.
Comes at a much higher price.
Let's put quality. Because we have that mastery point. Oh, even better armor and evasion than what I had. This is a great body armor and I crafted cheap. Under 10 Divine Orbs. After I make this guide, pretty much prices will go up. Now I'll show you some tricks. Let's put this here. How to elevate it yourself. Okay. So let's go back here on the website. You see, so this was the easy way. This is pretty much easy, already elevated because few people need this modifier. But after I will release this guide, I think this will go more expensive. Yeah, depends also on the time of the day. But I'll show you here how to elevate it yourself. If you here you have, I put here random influence body armor with two modifiers, special modifiers. You buy any of these. Let's buy some. Okay. So this you will do in case you don't find any already elevated. Okay, so I also bought this. We have two chances here. This is 50% chance to pick the increased dexterity and will elevate it to what we need, or we'll pick the other one, +1 sockety support gems. Yeah, so it's 50-50. It's half gamble. So let's see. I got it. I elevated the dexterity, and now I can use the same method, which I will use. Let's try on this body armor. So we have here you and your minions take 100% reduced reflected elemental damage. This is a special Redeemer modifier. And the second one is the increased dexterity tier 1. And we want to hit the dexterity. We hit it. You see? Dexterity elevated. And now we also get, in addition to increased dexterity, level of socketed dexterity gems. So we have two bases. Good. I need to buy one more with... let's do it now fast. I'm doing this so everyone gets it. So now we're gonna buy the second piece, which will be a Hunter Influence body armor. Okay, let's do it. I will private message multiple ones because some of them they answer pretty hard. Okay, so let's craft two more chests. I have so many of them. Okay. Again, we're gonna use the Awakener's Orb, which I have some here. This used to be very cheap, by the way, but in this league it's like 4 Divine Orbs. It raised up in price. Unlucky. So let's do it like this. This is the only special Redeemer influence. And we're gonna migrate it into this one, but make sure you want to first find the critical strike. Yeah, this is the only special Hunter influence, so we're gonna put it here. And let's put this one also. Good, good. This is tier 1. You check the tier. It needs to be tier 1. Good. And then I'm gonna put Awakener's Orb, and I will migrate on this one. Okay, and now we go here, we put suffixes. Suffixes cannot be changed.
Don't make a mistake now.
And then we're gonna put Reforged Caster. As you can see, you can apply an additional curse. Good. And we're gonna craft this one because we want to have a lot of armor and evasion. So this is my favorite one. As you can see, it's pretty much guaranteed, easy to get. You will click until you get a good rolls, close to 74. This is the idea, but I don't want to stay here all day. And you make sure you put some quality. See, you want some quality, so it gives more. And here you check the modify, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here for the last one, you can YOLO it and put an Exalted Orb. Yeah, see what you get. I got shit. At least I got shit that is tier 1. So I recover more faster from stun and block. But it's still great. We have critical strike, increased dexterity. So this gives us more defensive than a brick swap. Let me show you. So this gives 500, 600. This gives you also armor and a lot of evasion. And these scales will, all our increases will help you a lot. And also gives you that +1 level of socketed dexterity gems. So this will bump the enhance to level 5. And will bump Siege Ballista to level 22. One moment, I need to put the ND here. So level 22, you get 1 extra totem for free, because this is important to have it elevated. Also 12% dexterity, this was giving you 50% dexterity, but it's not big deal, 3%. And that 1% increased damage per 15 dexterity, it's compensated by the critical strikes. That's why we want to put with critical strikes, so we don't lose a lot of damage. It will be pretty much the same damage. And for the additional curse, you can put on Hrim Sorrow here. You have 3 great curses: Enfeeble, Temporal Chains, or Elemental Weakness, Corruptions. You can put it here, or if you don't want to put it on the gloves, you can put it here, a gem, and you will cast it manually. Yeah. Let's say any curse you desire, even punishment. It's a punishment, it's a red gem. You can put it here and you use 2 curses. It's great. Now let's do the second one. So I'm checking if there is the only special modifier. Yes, I'll put this. And I'll click on this. Good, let's see this one. Yes, and we go here. Suffixes cannot be changed. And then we're gonna put here Reforged Caster. Good. We crafted a great body armor. Remember, dexterity always you want to see 12. So let's divine it to 12. Bam! Bam! Yeah, you divine it, but you also want to look at the critical strike. You see, it's a low roll. Now it's better. Better roll. Yeah. And here you can do it like I told you, because we have 2 prefixes. What I like to do here, you can block the life. On the Exile Slam, we get guarantee some armor. Oh. Physical damage taking as chaos. Actually, this is useful. Yeah, because if you have high chaos resistance, because I do with this flask, I have it. Also, you can get this Watcher's Eyes with chaos resistance, and you will be capped. Yeah? So now, when I get physical damage hits, it will get converted into chaos damage, so I will die harder. This is actually a great result. And instead of this life here, you'll put this one, increased armor and evasion. Yeah, and at the end you'll put some quality. You put some quality here. Good. This is a great body armor. It was crafted very easy and pretty cheap. So now you know also how to elevate it yourself. Now, talking about the special modifiers, it's very easy. You go here, you click on, go on my channel, you go here, Craft of Exile. Yeah. You click on body armors, then you go to strength dexterity bases, you scroll down, and you have here for the hunter influence. Yeah, so you don't want to see, you just want to have the attacks critical strike, and you don't want to see any of this from the list. Same with the Redeemer. Yeah, so when you're gonna put the Awakener's Orb, it will pick just one special modifier. So you want to make sure you have just the elevated dexterity, and you don't want to see any of this in the list. You know, if you have questions, just go on my Guild Discord server and ask there, because we have a dedicated channel where we help people. You see, I crafted so many of these chests. Now the last piece is you want to 6 socket it and 6 link it, which is very easy because we can use omens. Look how easy it is, man. To 6 socket you have this omen and you click it. Then you click this one with a fusing and you have 6 link. Very easy, man. And this armor is better than a brisk swap. You will enjoy it, you will love it, because you already love this guide and this build. Okay, my boys, now let's see how we can push this build further. First of all, you need to know that I don't recommend pushing this build too much, because we have Shrapnel Ballista, which is another build that I have here, that can do all the in-game side counter for like 100 divine, 150. So there is no point into making a mirror tier Siege Ballista when we have Shrapnel Ballista. This build must remain as a tier 16 map blaster, so it can do tier 16 very easy. So this is the purpose of this build, but if you want to do all the hard content inside this game, just do my Shrapnel Ballista build, because it's much more better than investing too much into your Siege Ballista. But here are some essential Siege Ballista upgrades that you must know. So let's start with this one, Siege Ballista at level 22, it will grant you 1 additional totem for free. That's why we are using a brisk swap with +1 level of socketed gems, so we bump up this skill gem 2120 to 22. Yeah, so this is an upgrade. To bump Siege Ballista to level 22, you can buy a brisk swap with this corruption, or you can buy this elevated dexterity chest, which has socketed dexterity gems that will make Siege Ballista to level 22. Another upgrade is using an enhanced level 4. This will give you a lot of extra free attack speed. So you will start with faster attacks, and later you will put an enhanced level 4, which by the way gets to enhanced level 5 because of the body armor. Even if you put it in a brisk swap, you see it gets to enhanced level 5. It's good. Yeah, for league start and budget you'll use faster attacks, but remember that you will swap it later with enhance, it's much more damage. And we also have corruptions. As you can see, corruptions can boost the damage of your build. So here I have a tab prepared. For example, look here, I have a normal Hrim Sorrow when you can buy one with double corruptions, or if you're poor you just get one with single corruption which gives critical strike or attack speed. This will boost slightly your damage. Also for the helmet you can get socketed aura gems, AOE gems, increase maximum life, things that will help you. For the bow I recommend taking the normal one, which gives you 50% increased critical strike chance. Do not buy any corruption, because this is best. And here for the quiver you can take that one that adds flatted added cold damage, or bow attacks fire an additional arrow. These two can work, you know, if you want to buy for corruptions. There are also corruption for Garukan's flight that give you more movement speed. That's good. Good. And here for the anoint, make sure that you put Shaman's Dominion. A lot of guys forget to put anoints, and know that these synthesized rings can have multiple synth implicits, up to 3. You can also get a belt with triple synth implicits that can help you for more damage. Yeah, this is a great build. Now the build guide is already long as it is, so I'll have to stop here. Enjoy the build and good luck.